Hi, Michael St. Clair here with another quick mortgage tip. Wanted to reach out to a couple of you guys and talk about the first-time home buyer programs and some of the options that are available to you. I get asked this a lot. Mike, how can I get into my dream home? I have X amount of dollars saved, or I have X amount in the bank, and I want to get into a dream home. How can that happen? Well, there's a couple different ways to do so. In this series, I'm going to be giving 3 essential tips to help you get into that dream home. And in my opinion, option 1 is always going to be geared towards your down payment. This has to do with monetaries and fiscals and monies, things of that nature. So when it comes to your down payment, what you do want to consider is down payment equals solely that, down payment. It does not cover costs. It doesn't cover third parties. It doesn't cover any of that. So when you're talking about down payment, what programs, options are available to you, keep this in the back of your mind. Now, the programs that are available to us that are the common are your FHAs, your VAs, and your USDAs. FHA does give an option where minimal down payment is 3.5%, which means to you is this: if the home is worth $100,000, $3,500 will cover your down payment. Does that cover your costs? No, it won't. Now, things to take into consideration with cost are going to be your third parties such as title companies, your homeowner's insurance, and who's paying for the taxes. These all get paid one way or another in the transaction. Typically the buyer takes on these, but sometimes there are things that are called seller credits or lender credits. That will be in another series. Also take into consideration with your down payment how much you already have saved. When you're moving into a home, the down payment may cover the down payment aspect of it, but there's other portions that we don't touch on as far as getting the home furnished, painting, a lot of the things that a lot of people like to do when they move in for the first time. Moving into that, my second tip would be geared towards location. It's all about location. From where you work, to where your children are going to school, to overall where you may just be starting a family. When you are looking for the location, there's a couple things to consider. One is where your employer is and where you're going to be purchasing your home. Although the home may be closer to where you're going to be purchasing, a lot of the times employers that are closer to the homes are usually more populated. More populated areas are going to be expanding further. These are things to take into consideration if you don't like traffic, or if you just don't want to run the cost of getting into a car accident, or just interacting with people on an everyday basis. Maybe considering the area as far as where you're living is going to be one of the options. Coupled with that, strong school systems, finding out where the children are going to be going to school, what the education class is like, what the grading on the education class is like. These are things to take into consideration when choosing the desired dream home. And then lastly, of course, you want to go into safety. How safe are these neighborhoods? How safe is the overall city? Looking into the crime rates, finding out if there's any deterrence for crime organizations, checking into the history of the police enforcement, if it's sheriff or if it's city driven. These are some things that you want to look into. Even firefighters, and finding out if there's set locations in that area to handle those types of emergencies. And then lastly, definitely one of the biggest considerations is finding a professional. Finding a professional that can help you through the transaction from beginning to the end. And what I mean by that is this. Professionals that are out there, in my opinion, are going to be the individuals that are commission-based. And the reason why I say commission-based is because their skin in the game is going to be a little bit thicker than some of these bigger brands that you see out there. Some of these bigger brands that you see, like a Wells Fargo or a SunTrust, Bank of America, you have a big powerhouse real estate companies, such as Exit, Century 21. That's all fine and dandy. The names have really empowered the employees, but that's not something you want to look for in particular. When you're looking for the professional, you really want to gravitate towards a person that's going to shop for your goals and get you everything that you need from start to end. The bigger name, just to give a quick metaphor in regards to how it relates with real estate, is picture Nikes, Air Jordans, even picture a Samsung television. These are all great materials. Some of them have great threads, if you will. But at the end of the day, it's just a shoe. It's just a television. You're going to pay what you get for it. And over time, they change out. Similar like the real estate industry, they're bigger names. They're just running through the process, as far as getting clients in, getting them out. They're viewed more as a number, not as a person. And when you're choosing your professional, you want to go back into finding out who they are, what their expertise is like. It's going to give you a better understanding as far as what their personality is going to be like altogether. Some of the tools and systems that mortgage professionals use or consumers use is what's called an MLS consumer access, where you can type in someone's license or name and actually find out their experience and expertise over their entire history of being in the industry. And then lastly, of course, you have your social network engines such as LinkedIn. That will definitely give you a good insight as far as who they are, what kind of content they post, how relevant it is, and again, if you're really going to be driving with that professional. That's all I got. Again, my name is Michael St. Clair. I appreciate all your time. My contact info will be listed below. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me direct. Thank you so much.